Hello, my name is Hemingway Jones, and I make videos about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling for curious people like you. Welcome to the channel. I have been giving so much thought to my ink collection. I own well over 100 different bottles of inks, and as you know, each one's a different color, a different shape, a different size. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to categorize them, to keep track of them, and to store them. So it got me thinking, would it be possible to get by with fewer inks? And then I came up with the perfect 3-ink collection, and I'm going to share it with you. Each time I get a new ink, I always make a little swatch in my ink library, and I write a short paragraph in that color so that I can see the complete expression of that color and all its tonality, all its shading and shimmer if it has that, and just really get a sense of what this ink can do and what it looks like. And I also have my thoughts there of how I feel about it if I've used it for some time. So this works very well, and it's also a nice way for me to match up pens to the different colors, because I'll hold up a pen with each of them and I'll see how they interact, see what kind of a color conversation they have, how they relate, how they offset, how they clash even, whatever seems to inspire me for that pen. And that's how I choose my inks. And although I go through that process, what I'm finding is that maybe 90% of the time I default to my favorite inks. And my favorite inks keep appearing in more and more pens. And as I reach for them, my love for these colors is just growing exponentially. So it's the more I use them, the more I want to use them, the more comfortable I feel using them, and the more warm and connected to these colors I also feel. I'm getting close to where these colors are my signature shades. So in honing all of these inks down, I do think that there are some essential colors you simply have to have. And these are my 3 colors. Black. Black is essential. Black is the most numerous color ink there is. Second, of course, is blue. I use blue quite a bit. I'd be lost without a blue ink. And the third color for me is red. Now that means I'm giving up greens and browns and a whole lot of other shades, but this is an intellectual exercise after all, so it's not as if I'm going to actually get rid of any inks right now. But if I had to get by with 3, if a law were passed, if it was all I had, these are the 3 I would choose. Let's start with black. One of the amazing things about writing with a fountain pen is that even a common color like black comes to life through the pen as we apply it to the page in little streaks that glisten, glossy, wet, as we trowel that little line into our letters, into our words, and stretch them in beautiful shapes across the page. I love putting ink down. I love the way black looks. It's such an elegant, refined ink, and I don't get tired of it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now, there are many different tones of black. I like the darkest blacks. I would prefer it if it stayed glossy, but I've yet to find a black ink that looks shiny and glossy when it's dry. Nevertheless, in looking at all the different black ink colors, my favorite is Herb's Pearl Noir. I love how classic Herb inks are. I love the shape of the bottle, the little holder for your pen. I love how easy it is to fill your pen from these bottles. And most of all, I love how smooth and wet and brilliant this black is, how elegant it looks, how free-flowing and beautiful it is. I just adore this black ink. I use it quite a bit in almost every one of my pens. I love Herbin. I love this black color. I love using it in my more elegant pens, and it just brings out a commanding tone, a beautiful, simplistic, elegant, refined line. My next choice I want to share with you is my choice for blue. Now here I did have a bit of a dilemma because I considered that maybe I should use a waterproof ink, something like Sulika, which I really love. It is a fantastic shade of blue and it's very water fast. No one's going to wash your signature away and be able to forge something. So if that's important to you, you might want to consider balancing out one of the blacks or the blues with a waterproof ink. For me though, I have to be totally honest, as much as I love that ink, and I do, my favorite color blue is Jayarbon's Eclat de Saphir. Now this might not be a shock to anyone who watches the channel regularly, but this is my favorite color of ink. I use it in almost all of my pens at one time or another. It really makes my Egyptomania spring to life. It's just the perfect balance of blue. Blue is probably my favorite color. If I had a favorite color, I seem to surround myself in a lot of blue, but it just is brilliant. It's a sapphire blue that's very saturated and it leaps off the page without being too much, without being strange or just an odd tone. It's just beautiful jeweled blue that just makes your writing come alive to look so sophisticated, maybe a little soft, maybe a little bit more warm and really perfect for correspondence, but also blue is a great color to get contrast against a black print background. So if you are signing legal documents or filling out a form, blue ink can really make your writing lift off the page. And there are few blue inks as beautiful, as consistent, as wet and flowing as Jayarbon's Eclat de Saphir. It is a classic, and if I had a signature ink of my own, this might well be it. Let's speak about red ink. Red ink is essential for me. I just love it for its vividness, for its passion, for how it leaps off the page. Red ink does have a wide range from your more pink reds to your purples to your burgundies, all the way down to your brownish reds. I like my reds very grounded with really dark shading. I find the lighter reds look a little more like correctional red, the kind of red that was all over my papers in high school. I want to see a more grounded red, and I definitely flirt with different colors, but my favorite is Diamine's Oxblood. Diamine Oxblood is such a perfect expression of red. It has the nice reddish tones, yet it has the beautiful shading that just gives it a nice presence on the page. It looks absolutely magnificent in my journals. It has a bit of a vintage quality to it. There's something that seems almost old and ancient, maybe because red is sort of elemental. It's the color of blood, it's the color of fire, it's the color of passion, and it just looks incredible, and especially through flex nibs and wider nibs, it just gives you this fantastic expression of it while you draw your words on the page. I would be lost without Oxblood. I use it in so many different pens. Now I do like some other reds, including Writer's Blood, which is very, very nice. But boy, it just keeps going back to Oxblood for me. I just love this color. It's sort of a cordovan. It's a leathery red, and it's absolutely brilliant for your correspondence, for your journaling, and for anywhere else where you want to give a bit of distinction to your writing. So I think this comprises my essential 3-ink perfect collection of inks. What would yours be? It's not an easy exercise to get it down, and if you start to think of things like waterproofness, or if you want something with shimmer, it really forces you to think and to make very tough choices to restrict it to just 3. Still, I think it's a valuable thing to sort of see which inks you really love and which ones really express who you are as a person and in your writing. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear what your 3 inks are. leave me a description in the comments. I'd love to see it. And if you've reached this point in the video and you haven't subscribed, and I know about half of you haven't, please do. I'd really appreciate it. And I'd like to get to know you as we go along and we journey to all these different places. It'd be fun if we did it together. And if you want to support the channel even more, membership is available. Come on behind the scenes. There's a lot going on and I'd love to see you there. So I make new videos all the time and I have a live show Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. So I can assure you of one thing, we will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care and thanks for watching.